Halito, as the Choctaw words hello. I'm a Native American Indian. I enrolled to a Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indian, and my reservations in Choctaw, Mississippi. And my parents moved us to Tennessee when I was about 13 years old, and we've lived here in Tennessee since then. Most Choctaw people, women, especially women and the kids, they learn how to do all the beadworks as they grow up. My mother used to tell us that we need to learn how to do this. She was the best one as far as I'm concerned. And she tell us that we need to learn all these things and carry on from the traditional, the so cultural. So she teach us how to do the beadworks, and you started very simple thing that she teach you how to do that. And that's how I learned my beadwork. And I'm still doing it. Of course, most Choctaw women and kids back then learn how to make baskets and all that things. And the baskets I have is sitting back here. Those kind of things they made. And we should be learning all that. But me, I didn't want to learn anything about basket because it's hard work. And that's why I just didn't want to mess with that thing as growing up. Which I'm sorry that I didn't think about that was going to happen, but I just was not interested in doing that basket, but beadworks. So finally, when I got older, I realized that I need to go back and do that. So once I retired, that's what I want to do. So I went to her again, and we started in different things that she do, and that she learned how to do it, and different things that she taught us. And that's how my sister, I had 6 sisters, and that's how we learned. Let's go back and do it again and again. And of course, 2 of my sisters don't know nothing about that. And they still don't know how to do that today. But we learned how to do 2 of my sisters, and we hang in there in how to do the beadworks and stuff, and that's how I am where I am today. And I knew that I was going to be retired. I know that I was not going to work public work all my life. So when I retired on my job, that's when I really started doing this. And I've been doing this since quite a few years. And it's now where I can teach other kids too, like when I was a little girl. And if they want to learn, I try to help them to how to start in this. And I work with a school. Sometimes they invited me to come in and show them how to do it or tell them how it's done and things like that. I did. And that's what I'm doing still today. And one of my granddaughter, I'll teach her in apprenticeship, and she's doing a real good job today. Of course, she's not doing that all the time. She's doing it on her off day when she's not working, but she's really, really done a good job doing it. I'm so pleased with her that I taught her how to do all this stuff. And I got 3 more grandkids that I want them to learn, but today, I was thinking they want to learn these telephones and all this electronic thing. That's what they're into. So when you talk about, okay, let's do that, and maybe some other time. But now we're busy, it's this and that. So they're not into it yet. But they are just 14 and 8, so they're not into it yet. This piece here is a bracelet. It's crystals and just black seed beads, and that I made a bracelet out of this. That's where one of the things that my mother taught us how to make these things. So that's how I learned. She showed us, and that's how I catch on to her and made this. And I think it's pretty. It's where you wear it when you dress up and wear that. Of course, today we get all this done and then wait when you get invited somewhere special. At least that's what I do, is when I wear my dresses, it has to be something special that I do to wear my dresses in my beadworks. In the beginning, I learned how to, the first one that I did is similar to this, just stringing the beads. And this is one of them things that I did a long time ago. And all you do is just get your needle and thread and just put it all together and just start turning up. Then also we have different colors that we do. It's not like this, and it's smaller seed beads. And we make those and we call it a friendship necklace, and which is different color in the circle. Where we live in a circle today. The earth is circle. And then different colors represents every person, whoever they are, black and white or red or what. And that's why our necklace is start with different colors in that, and it's in circle. So that's what we call a circle friendship necklace. So I make a lot of that stuff, and it's easy to make. And then we went on to do other things that we do in our work. Is sometimes when you started making these kind of things, it's kind of harder, and you have to kind of learn how to do this, and you gotta have a teacher that's gonna teach you how to do it and make sure that you finish before you start on another one. So that kind of, in the beginning, these kind of things is you have to take time to do it, and it takes a while to do this, but it's pretty. I like this. I made this a long time ago, and this is just solid collar necklace. That's what we wear. And other than that, these are kind of special for us to make for our ladies, because we feel like that's something special to do that. And I do have other stuff that I do make in such thing. I use cedar seeds in necklace. But I don't have it with me right now, but I do make out of the necklace out of the cedar seeds. And the cedar seeds is our special because it's a cedar. You don't, in Tennessee, you don't find no cedar seed out here, but you can find a cedar seed out in the west, like Arizona, New Mexico, things like that, places like that, that you can pick yourself out in the field and take it home and clean it up and make you necklaces. And those kind of things I do. And then different things that I learned how to do wherever we see, like this, if you go out other states and visiting, you see some of these things in a craft store, and you buy these things. That's why I buy this all the time, because I make a lot of this stuff. I bought this all the time, and used to it didn't cost much, but today it costs a lot. So that's one of the things that we do. And I don't know about the others, but we still continue. Every year I go back home in July, and I go visit the arts and craft show. They have art and craft show, and they all kind of things that they make. They create a new creations for future, and you see that where they're making baskets, just like that I have here. It's different design, different colors, how they make those kind of things that they do. And I wish I could learn how to do all that stuff, but I just only learned what I learned from my mother right now. So it's different when you started doing different design and different things that you need to do. And something that I don't think I want to start it is basket at my age. So I'm just hanging with the beadwork. So that's what I do. That's another thing that I do. I enjoy doing it, is teaching the kids to
all these work that I have learned when I was a child, and I pass it on to those little kids. So it's a lot of fun to do that. And the teaching that I do right now at the museum and different things, I'm hoping that some of the kids still doing that and we get bigger, more creative with this beads, that they learn how to do it from me. So I'm just happy to teach these kids to do all that work. Other than that, we have this kind of thing right here. It's hard to do, and I wouldn't ask little children to how to work on this because it just takes too much time and a lot of patience to do this. So you really have to want to do that and patience and a lot of time to do this. So I hadn't taught anybody on this design yet, but someday I will. And this is my mother's design. She made this, and so I'm carrying on and hoping that one day maybe I can teach a child to make this. But right now I hadn't done it yet, so it's coming. But I had to kind of trust. So with a child, with this, we have to use needles, small like this needles, and I don't want the children to get stuck in a finger or something. And I've realized that the child has to want to do it and know what he's doing. That's when I want, if they want to learn this, that's when I'm going to teach these kind of things. But right now I'm just stringing the beads in a little thing that I know they can handle. Right here that I'm working on it is looks like this. It's this is silver and red and black, and it's called daisy chain, and that's why we make a choker, necklace, and bracelet and things like that. And sometimes we make earrings out of this. You can do a lot of things with this design in different ways. So that's what I'm doing. Is right now I'm making this for a choker to wear around your neck. So that's what I'm doing right now in this color. And right here is another thing that I'm going to try to teach somebody. This is just a regular bracelet, but you use bugle beads and then seed to make this with your needle and thread. That's how you do it. And this is easy to make. This is not hard as this one right here, but this is easy to make. So hopefully I'm get to teach somebody in some of the kids, because I try to teach them and they can learn this, how to do this. But and also it's not hard to make either, so any child can do it if they really want to do this and have patience and time to do that. And I know that one of these necklaces that I have made, I don't know how many I made. This is so many I made. And this is probably take me about maybe 8 hours. And I was with this design that I made it. But in 2019, I won awards for this right here, this style. So I'm happy to receive this honor from Governor Lee in 2019. This is Art Awards, and it was an honor for me to receive that. And this because the Indian tribe that lives in Tennessee are not recognized in Tennessee. So it was just a great honor for me to represent Native American Indian people in Tennessee for this award. So I was pleased with it because this once I stayed on so long, it's not hard for any person to make that. So that's how I made that. So other than that, this is another one necklace that I made, and this is kind of a little bit harder to make. It takes time too to make that. How it takes time is you have to count your seeds. To if you take 12, you have to come back up 12, go back down 12, come back up 12. That's the only way. If you miss that 12, if you put in 13, it's going to be out of line. Or if you don't use 11, you're going to be out of line. So you got to put it together 12. If you started with 12, you got to have to put 12 all the way around to finish that. So it's kind of hard to, I'll say hard, but it probably wouldn't be because it's kind of hard for me, especially nowadays. My eyes is not all that good, so it's kind of hard for me to not mess up all the time. So that's another thing that I kind of hesitate. Maybe I'm going to retire on that too for one day. But this thing that I do, and that beadwork is one of my hobbies that I did. That I learned from my mother when she tried to teach me, and I didn't want to learn how to do, but I did. And I was glad that I did. I know she's happy with me. So that's what I did. Talking about teaching and how to do this and how many seed beads you got to have. Anytime you start, me on this daisy chain, I started with 9 seeds. And you go, that number 9, you go through that hole. And that makes it around, that makes it circle. So what you come through with that 9, you put 2 together and go to top of the number that you started with and go through that and come back out, and you still had to pick another 2. It just goes around and around and around. That's all you do. Once you started, I started with 9, and I used that number 9 to starter, and I get another 8 to get go into that circle, and then you come back out and you go back in, and that number you leave. When you get in at number 1, and then you go pick another 8 and comes around, and you go that 8 that you have left earlier, and you go back in and go back out. And that's how you make daisy chain. And it's not hard once you start counting like this, but if you mix it like maybe you take 6 or 9, of course you started with 9, it shouldn't be, but if you're missing, if you got too much in there, it's like if you got 9 in there, you can't, it won't look right, because once you pull that thread through, it just don't look right. It'll kind of out of the place when you have 9. So you always have, what you started with 9, but you always use 8. So, and then the 2 you use, you had 8, so 2 of them you go into that hole and go back out and get you some 8 more and get back in there. And once you started learning how to that count 8 and 9, you make it. You make it's no problem for you to do that, and you can make it like this right here. So that's what I've been doing, is do that, and you can make with a lot of things to do that. And this is another daisy chain right here that it makes to hang on this circle that you made this. And this is another thing that you made for, but this you have to have a padded thing that you have. And this is back of it is padded, and there's a leather that you have to sew. Once you make this top, you have to pad it with this leather to sew it in there, and then once you get through, you put this daisy chain to hang it where you can hang it like that. And then just for looks, you put this French thing and down the bottom where you can see it right here's hanging it to make it look pretty. That's how you started on this. That's quite, I said earlier, that that's hard to make, and because you had to make the top first, and then you go back and cut up the leather in circles to fit set, and you go back in and sew it on to make it hold straight together and flat. And that's how it goes. That's why it's harder to make on this thing. But once these people, my mom used to do that all the time. once you learn how to make, more than one, it's easy for you to start doing all that. But first, when they start, it's kind of hard. It's gonna take time to do that. Me myself, I think about what do I need to do if I'm kind of bored. I said, what do I need to do? And I thought about my beadworks, and that's where I go. And at night, if I don't have nothing to do, I don't watch TV. This is where I go to do this. And sometimes I get overwhelmed about different things in my home, in my life. This is the work for me to do all this. And so that's how I feel like if you don't feel nothing, you feel like it takes a long time. But to me, when I felt different things, I just feel like this is what I need to do. And I go in there and to do this, my time is just fly. So I can make maybe 2 in 2 days, something like that. But it's really worth your time when you're working on beadworks and stuff. And I love to do this when I kind of feel upset or something. It takes my mind off everything and just doing all that stuff. That's me. I don't know about the other how to do it, but I know my mom do that all the time. She works on it, and she had raised 6 kids, so I know we have given her a hard time with that, and so she had to do all kind of works on the beadwork. So that's how she learned, and so she wants us to learn how to do all this beadwork, and that's how I'm here today to do all this. Sometimes I just think, like if you see a color somewhere and that pops in your mind, you said, oh, I'd like to make that necklace, that color. And if you see, like I'm just using this, like if you see green, I like to make that necklace, make the green necklace to mix with this color and that color. Means green and blue or green, yellow or something. And you just add it on to that color of what you're going to use it, and pick that colors and look at it and see if that's the right color that you think about. So sometimes that's how I do my work to make that decision to make these necklaces. And I know that I know my great grandmother used to say, "Shiny to home, now she must reach you God." I say, is that the way you like the color? So if that's what you think, you make it to use that color. That's what my grandmother would say. So that's how I used to know how to do it when I was younger. But today I just look at it and say, oh, that's what I want to make. That's the color I want to make, and just do it. I don't have to think about it. I just do it. This is a red and white, and this one I'm going to use it, and that's how I do it. But when I'm not ready to do that, I can't just pick the color and put it together, because when I do that, when I'm not ready to do that, I just think all kind of colors to try to put it together, and it don't work. So you got to have something in your heart to make that decision, the color you want. So that's why I do my work. And I guess probably all the women that I know, Choctaw people, I guess that's how they do it too. And I know some of the people that I talk to that are same, they have the same feelings similar to mine. So I think that's how all the Choctaw women think about that. Even my dress, these are dresses my mom made. I can make dresses, but I didn't make these big. I can make children dresses, but I can't make big people, adult dresses. And this is how she makes it. She made this for me, and it's 6 of girls that she had. She made all of us dresses. And somewhere when she was about 60 years old, she made all of us dresses, and she wanted us to have it. So she made me this one.
And then she make my other sisters different colors. She did. And we were surprised because she don't normally make us a dress. We have to do it ourselves or some hand-me-down. That's what we wear. But she wanted to make that dress for us. So she did it. And we had it. And I'm still having ours. And she, her request when she died was that she want us to wear all the dresses that we make at her funeral. So we honored that request. All of us wear that Choctaw dresses that she made for us. And it's not easy to make these diamonds, especially for adult clothes. And she made all of us this kind of diamonds in color that she wants to put on, and that's why she did it. So just always think about her when I had it on, and it's special times when I had it on, because she taught me everything that I know her. So I feel like I'm honored to wear this dress, especially when I'm doing it with beadworks and things like that. So that's how we end up with the girls. And how I get my supplies is I had to go to, sometimes I buy this stuff with the power, and sometimes I go to arts and crafts store in different states. And Tennessee don't, here in Nashville area, I don't think there's any bead store. All I know is they had two, and the one is fixing to close down. And so I don't know what I'm going to do after it closed, but all of them store closed down. But I guess I had to go to other state or order it in the mail. And if you order it in the mail, it don't come out like you want it to, because you got to have same size of seeds that you use. And if you don't have, if you're not having same size seed that you use, it's not going to come out right. And you feel like you're just wasting your time by ordering it in the mail, because they just want to send you. You say, okay, we got a size 8, 10, 11, and 13. I don't use 13. I use 11 because I feel like 11 is better. And I think most people use 11. But my granddaughter, she makes earrings. She uses 13 and 16. That is smallest seed beads that you see. And that's how she makes her, that's what she makes her earring. And that's the only kind that she would use is 13 and 16. But I can't use that 13 and 16 because it's just not for me to use that. But she had good earrings that she makes, and it's pretty earrings. And that small seeds of beads is gonna take so much time, and it's gonna mix out with when I start counting, like I want 13, I might have 14 or something, because they are so tiny. So I might have 14 or 12 or something like that. But she does have pretty earrings, so at the 13 and 16 size. But my size is 11. And then the color that I pick is, like I said, I don't know how it would be if you order it in the mail, because in the mail they're not sending the right size for you. So I had to go to the store and get that, look at myself and get what I want, the color I want, and everything. And when I go to Power, that's how I do. I go shopping with the beads, and I probably have about a closet full of beads in my heart. So that's things that you kind of be aware of, was the size that you use. So
what's a powwow?
Powwow is right there. We're going to have it in October. 3 days in October. And we have the biggest one in Tennessee. And we always love it. I love to work arts and craft. I bring different people, different skills and everything. So anybody can come and learn things and enjoy it. The Friday is a school day. And if you have school children, Friday is a school education day. So they can learn a lot about that if they're interested. It's fun. You need to come. Other than my beadwork is kind of my hobby in my life. And also I
She used to do volunteer work among our people, Indians, in where I live. There's a lot of tribes come to Tennessee, especially come to the Nashville area. So we started this organization, Native American Indian Association, and we all volunteer. So our dream was to build Indian centers where we can get together in that place. So we started saving money for that center that we're going to build. And when we finish that building, it's going to be a public museum. We're going to have office. We're going to have library. We're going to have section where school children can come and learn anything they want to learn. What we got, what can we teach them? They're going to learn. Because I do school, go to school and try to tell them about the Indians, about the tribes where I'm from, and different tribes, what I know. So, and those kind of information that we're going to have, and the school children can come and learn all that stuff that they want to learn anything about. So I'm pleased with that. But it takes us forever, but we're going to get it done. I like to end by saying this in Humanitado que yakoge ichimaji. Yame ke anana to mugilamichi to got yakoge ichimaji. And thank you for being here and watching us, and thank you for a good day that we have today, and have a nice day.